thing got so hot that the plastic started to melt on it. Look at that. It's crazy.
Dewalt versus Milwaukee, brushed versus brushless. Hey honey, which one's better, Dewalt or Milwaukee? I need your help.
Do you really want my help?
Yeah, I want to test some tools. Can you help?
Yeah, let's do this. My right finger is like getting burnt.
You ain't kidding. I don't know what's hotter, you, Milwaukee, or Dewalt. Just a friendly reminder, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris, and in this video, we'll be testing out the Dewalt versus the Milwaukee, as well as we'll be testing out the 2 amp hour battery versus the 4 amp hour battery on the Ridgid Gen 5 and the Kobalt XTR. Which one is the best, or just the best for your budget? Let's get to testing some tools, and we'll find out right now. So in the first out of 5 total tests, you can see we used the 6-inch general construction interior fastener, and we had the 4 amp hour battery on the Kobalt XTR as well as the Ridgid Gen 5, and those two brushless tools performed the best with that 4 amp hour battery. Now the Kobalt XTR was the only one with the 2 amp hour battery. The other ones on the Milwaukee, the Ridgid, and the Dewalt Atomic, those were both 1.5 amp hour batteries. And you can see that it was kind of a little struggle here. These were all finishing really in the top. And then we had the Milwaukee was able to edge out the Dewalt on the insertion of the screw. But then when it came to removal, they were really head to head. So the only thing I could see so far is that there's a clear difference between a 4 amp hour battery and a 2 amp hour battery. It may or may not be noticeable in your hands. I can definitely tell you the trade-off is weight. So it does make the tool a little bit bigger. It's not the size of the tool that matters, it's really about the person that has it in their hands and how well they perform with it. So let's get to the next test where we test the 4-inch lag bolt as well as the 5-inch lag bolt. This tests not only speed but also torque. We'll be doing some white hard oak as well as the OSB and the pressure treated 2x4s here. So let's get to testing these tools. We'll see again how that 4 amp hour battery versus the smaller 2 amp hour battery and the Milwaukee versus the Dewalt. Let's get to it. Now before we talk about these 5-inch lag bolts, we better check in and see how the Milwaukee brushed versus the Dewalt Atomic brushless is going. I'm interested to see if my wife's gonna get tired or we're gonna burn out one of these tools first. So let's go check it out.
My right finger is like getting burnt.
144.
All right, so when it comes to the 5-inch lag bolts going into the OSB and that pressure treated wood, you can definitely see that the 4 amp hour batteries on the Kobalt XTR and the Ridgid Gen 5 brushless, those tools are coming out on top, as well as the 2 amp hour battery is next. So it's clear to see that that 4 amp hour battery is really superior to the 2 and the 1.5 amp hour battery. Now, as far as the Milwaukee versus the Dewalt, this brush tool going against the Atomic brushless, well, that's a good battle here. You can see that they're really neck and neck. I think the Dewalt was able to edge out the Milwaukee on the 5-inch lag bolt test. Again, it's pretty close neck and neck with these two tools. And so that Milwaukee being a brush tool and still holding up pretty well, it's not too bad. Now you do have to remember that brush tools eat the battery a little bit more than the brushless. So it'll be interesting when we get to the battery test to see if there truly is a difference between those two. Now let's get to the 4-inch lag bolts in the hard white oak and see if there's a difference between the MILWAUKEE versus the Dewalt and the 4 amp hour battery versus the 2 amp hour battery. So what are you guys thinking so far? I think things are heating up. The 4-inch lag bolt into the hard white oak. Well, we got the brush tool versus the brushless, the MILWAUKEE versus the Dewalt. Kind of neck and neck still. The Dewalt was able to get the lag bolt in faster. The MILWAUKEE, well, they removed it just about as fast as the Dewalt. I think it's a clear winner to say the 4 amp hour battery versus the 2 amp hour battery is probably going to be the case throughout the rest of the video. So that 4 amp hour battery really just providing that peak performance, but again, that trade-off for the weight. So I think it's negligible. I think you can go a day or a week, depending on how many fasteners you're going to be doing. That 4 amp hour battery is really a nice sweet spot. Be interesting to see if a 6 amp hour battery really does any better. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe that'll be a future video, but I just wanted you to be aware there are other tool brands out there like the Bosch, the Harbor Freight Bauer, the Hart Tools from Walmart, as well as some Amazon special. If you want to see other tool videos about impact drivers, there'll be a link right up above in the cards there. So let's get to the next test. But before we do that and check out the speed bores, we're going to check in on the MILWAUKEE brushed versus the Dewalt brushless and see if the chucking up of these two is getting a little bit hotter. So when it came to looking at the speed bores, I think it's clear to say the 4 amp hour battery is definitely better than the 2 amp hour battery, and that trade-off's going to be weight, so that decision is up to you. As far as the MILWAUKEE versus the Dewalt, well, that one, they're trading blows back and forth. We'd have to go back and double check all the videos, so if you want to rewind that a little bit, you can definitely see, I think they're pretty neck and neck. Now for battery testing, we're going to be using 2 Southern Yellow Pine 2x4s. We're going to be inserting 50 drywall screws into it. These are square number 2s, 2.5 inch. Then we're going to be removing it. Now we did test these impact drivers here, but if you want to see some more brush tools, well, we did the Bauer from Harbor Freight, the Hart Tools from Walmart, as well as the Bosch Freak and the Amazon Special. There'll be a link up above in the cards to that video. Now let's get to testing the battery performance. When it comes to battery testing, the 4 amp hour versus the 2 and 1.5 amp hour, the brush tool versus the brushless, well, here's the results. It's pretty easy to see that the 4 amp hour battery is going to provide longer runtime versus the 2 amp hour and even the 1.5 amp hour. As far as the brush tool, you can see that brushed MILWAUKEE tool is really one of the most inefficient that we've tested, even more inefficient than the Hart Tools from Walmart and the Bauer from Harbor Freight. This is the model number 2656-20, And so when it comes to battery life, hands down, the Dewalt Atomic is really going to hand it to the Milwaukee. Now let's get to the final test. We got our big red Milwaukee versus the Dewalt Tough here. Let's finish them off and see which one really is the strongest one out there. I'm pretty excited. Make sure you leave a comment down below if you haven't already. If you're surprised by the results, leave a comment too. Now let's get to it.
That thing's cooked. Oh, that thing's cooked too.
So here we got that Dewalt Brushless Atomic and the Milwaukee 2656-20. The Dewalt's still working. The Milwaukee is seized up, but I can tell you the Dewalt did not go unscathed. The collet does not operate and lock anymore, and the rubber molding is definitely damaged, warped, and a little bit looser. Let's crack open the Milwaukee and see if we can see where this failed at. You can see the motor does not move. It's probably seized up a little bit in there. However, all the brushes are still intact. I'm guessing if we were to do a continuity test, we'd probably burned out a coil. It doesn't look so good right there. Let's crack this open real quick. Only the finest of tools. So we lost a little seal on our bearing. Oh geez, look at that right there. You can see we actually cracked the housing on that. And if we take a look at the actual teeth on the gears, we probably seized something up. And I've never seen damage like that before. So it just goes to show you, do not run your impact tools head to head for over 16 minutes and you won't have that problem. That, and you also won't get them over 300 degrees. These tools were really, really hot. All right guys, so fun little video today. Really do appreciate you tuning in. You can see that the 4 amp hour battery definitely was a lot more powerful. Runs a lot longer, as well as the Dewalt was able to take out the brushed Milwaukee. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it 2 thumbs down. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any upcoming cool videos, as well as power tools and toys in general. And as always guys, work smarter, not harder, and we'll catch you in the next video. Just a friendly reminder, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.